Hi, and welcome back to another episode. In today's episode, I want to share some skills a carpenter may have a need. So let's get right into it. There is no debating that carpentry is one of the oldest trades, period, hands down. Carpentry was established long before electricity, plumbing, HVAC, automotive, or even aviation. This trade began during ancient civilization, between Egypt and Mesopotamia. But I want to talk about the education and how we get to the point of the state we are now in the trades, right? And then the skills that a carpenter may need. Education was for boys only at one point. We got better. The first trade school opened up in New York. And for whatever reason, I'm assuming that they didn't have hands-on skills because didn't teach hands-on is one of the reasons why Missouri is claiming to have had the first classroom and lab learning, right? Hands-on skills, basically. Technical skills was definitely embraced before, during, and after the World War, One and Two. Public school and workforce started working together, right, at that point. This point now, let's say it's the early 19th century. Right? The big division between science and trades. This is going to lead us into the skills, and me clarifying what skills a carpenter really needs, right? So there was a divisive division between science and trades. It was always the academics. We would call them the science, like mathematics, English, things like that. And then there was the hands-on skills. Early on, we would call them electives, right? So the creation and development of schools. The idea was to provide reading, writing, math, or science skills, which would eventually be necessary for social, economic, and career growth. Also, while teaching civility, right? Manners, if you will, to make certain that you were minding your own business and things of that nature. Electives were called industrial arts. Industrial arts was removed regardless of being a majority or a unanimous decision made by these experts or team of experts, right? So it is said that this decision, or it was said that this decision was made based on industrial arts, obscuring the core subjects, right? Which also, mind you, included keeping after-school activities like sports and band. Imagine that, right? As we know, there are fewer famous musicians and sporting greats. Common trade folks supporting their families. Like, there's so many more people who obtain hands-on skills, the trades, the arts, if you will, rather than the academics. So these experts agree that industrial arts failed to demonstrate woodworking as a science. Can you believe that, right? Although math is involved, mathematical skills are necessary. So industrial arts were taken out of public high schools. Most people knew that by removing industrial arts would also slow down and eventually prevent economic as well as independent growth. So when you're trying to feed your family, you're trying to get the best job possible, the higher paying jobs, it was almost impossible. The fact is that not many would complete college, supposedly earn a degree that would grant better salary, assisting with falling into the government assistance, better known as independency. Right? So the fact is not many would complete college, supposedly earning a degree that would grant better salaries once graduated, right? So this will assist with falling into the government assistance, better known as dependency. So this is where we depend on the government a lot. All was good. Everything was good when laboring to build our, the best country on the planet, right? Producing goods for a war, everything was great with industrial arts or hands-on skills. We needed them. So the effects of not having science or trade competencies are still preventing so many people from earning a basic living, right? Supporting themselves and their family. What I have discovered is that many students entering into college technical programs have trouble with basic core subjects like mathematics, English, and things writing, communication skills, and things of that nature. Having failed both core subjects, I believe, and non-science subjects, carpentry, one of many industrial arts sciences include measuring, cutting, and assembly skills. So you need those. Carpentry is a science, by the way, so we can get that down. And also, this is totally beyond me, right? So this is personal. This is one of the things that I want to see change. Why carpenters aren't independently licensed? A general contractor won't or probably can't frame walls or roofs or even stairs, right? Polygons, these complex angles. So if you have to hire a carpenter as a subcontractor, then just to me look like he or she as a carpenter would be licensed like an electrician, a plumber, HV mechanic, right? So, but currently the old high school industrial arts electives have been replaced with dual enrollment, and how it's helping so many people get back into the trades, the hands-on skills, the science, right? This is an attempt to remove the spotlight off of the many failing core subject learners. Yeah, it does increase technical college enrollment while earning an industry certification, yes, and college credit towards a good career. This is a great thing. This heroic effort has helped grow and stabilize the economy, increase career opportunities while providing more families with affordable living, right? It's just that simple. So I wanted to kind of give you some understanding of what skills are necessary or needed by a carpenter. And there are many industrial arts that have not carried over, right, into the new dual enrollment, but let me give you the ones that I know that a carpenter needs. He or she needs to identify and apply safety practices, hands down. This is on any job, all day, every day, right? Identify and properly use and care for power and hand tools. They should know also how to select lumber and lumber grades and or look for spot defects right away. So, you're either using this piece of lumber or you're not using it. And to this, he or she needs to understand how to estimate. This is the very first thing you have to do on every job. All right, a client invites you over to give an estimate and you don't know how, so you can't work, you can't get the job. You don't know how to communicate that to the client, how much, how long, right, is the job is going to cost. Can't say that enough times. And not let's forget about accurately cutting straight lines and angle lines, which they will improve the outcome of the overall project. Now this includes installation or assembly type of thing. So you need straight lines and you need to understand the pencil, the number 2 pencil, the Carpenter pencil, how to keep them sharp, where to mark, where to cut, things of that nature. Now, there are some basic elements that I always like to share, especially with my students. Measuring, marking, cutting, and assembly, right? A very, very unique group of skills that a carpenter needs. But also, he or she needs to understand how to square, level, plumb, flush, and align pieces to that puzzle that creates the whole unit, right? We're not stopping there. A carpenter should have, understand, and know both soft skills and hard skills. So let me give you a few of those. So we talk about science, right? So these experts say that industrial arts did not prove that it was a science. Subjects were not science. So soft skills would be verbal and written communication, creativity, perhaps confidence and resiliency, or perseverance is up there, right? So critical thinking, problem-solving skills, conflict resolution, leadership, negotiation, memorizing, all of those things are part of soft skills, which are the essence of understanding the science. Then there are hard skills like physical strength, endurance, dexterity, and hand and eye coordination, things like that we use daily, right? This is the hands-on portion, but we need to have experience using tools and machinery, like things of that nature. We also should be precise or detailed precision work, right? Strong in reading and math skills, which is science, right? The core subjects. So I wanted to kind of give you an insight on what they were. And with a background in music performance, residential construction, and teaching, taught me very, very valuable lessons, all right? It taught me the truth about hands-on academic courses. You know, when we try to separate them, they always regroup themselves back together. You can't do one without the other, right? So if I'm actually on a ladder and I need to cut a piece of lumber, right? And once I cut it, we have to install it. So then my helper that's coming with me on the other ladder to install this particular piece have to have, to some degree, an understanding of what they need. I need to use this hammer. I'm going to be using this particular nail. I have to fasten it here, right in this position, right? All of those are science, which are skills necessary for even a laborer. So with that being said, the removal of industrial arts, the failure of science subjects, and the instructor's lessons were taken directly from a textbook. Come on, you have to now understand what that person actually put on their resume for employment, right? Because it's not showing up in the classroom or the lab. So when a person actually applies for a particular job and they have to submit a resume, what would be on the resume that have to reflect in the classroom? Okay, so you're teaching a lesson, and yes, mandatory. We have to have books as a mandatory, right? So I get it, but then we are translators, right? We are the middle people, teachers are, that give insight on, right? That gives, when the book can't speak, when the book can't translate this or give you further in-depth sight on, this is what that instructor should be doing. So my question always been that, not when I say questions, I say questions, right? So it's two. Why were industrial arts removed, replacing the science with another? Was a bad decision, right? Because we're still using these today. Everybody look forward to staying in a home. And if that is, then that person is needed. Bottom line. So if you drive to work, you're needed, right? So if you're flying an airplane or traveling, you're needed, right? So things of that nature. If you want to be hot or cold, we are needed. And so I didn't never understand why there was a separation as such. So I'll talk about it a little later in depth, the industrial arts, but I wanted to kind of communicate with you the skills necessary to become a carpenter. Thank you again for listening.